stepping outside myself, which is difficult, but stepping outside myself and looking in, you go, all right, so when one of your fellow creators or whatever engages in something, or I shouldn't say engages, is engaged in something that is massively controversial, and there's a bunch of ways to go. A lot of creators, I'll tell you straight out, do an analysis. And they go, where did the chips fall on this? Where does my audience fit on the issues? What kind of positions have I taken in the past? And despite the fact that so many of them are flat fucking retards. Hi, Flash. How's it going, man? Oh, you fucking idiot. Despite the fact that some of them are flat fucking retarded. Oh, hey, Flash, I wonder why you're biased towards the state, buddy. Why would that be? Despite that some of them are flat fucking flash-tarded. They're very savvy at the business that they're in.
So Lord Baldo has finally burned the bridge with Flash. Good old Yellowflash. But what was his crimes? What did he do that made Lord Baldo finally pull the plug on this guy? I've seen many criticisms of Flash. Actually, that's kind of a stretch. I've seen a few criticisms of Yellowflash throughout the years, none of which have been really heinous on the levels of a Nick. None of which have reached true scumbag territory, at least from my knowledge. At most, I guess the general gist that I've got is he's kind of sleazy, but not really the worst. He's never done anything like, say, put his kids in danger, fooling around with internet strangers like Aaron and April while his kids slept next door in the other room. That would be kind of weird. Uncharitable people would even say that's kind of pedophilic. Flash would certainly not be a junkie that leaves his crack pipe and unidentifiable substances where his children can get a hand of it. Flash wouldn't weaponize his children the way Nick currently is. So exactly, what were the crimes? Oh, he didn't agree with Nick. Of course, there you go. All it takes for Nick, listen, you can be the scum of the freaking earth like Ethan Oliver Ralph, right? Borderline raping another woman multiple times, distributing revenge porn multiple times. You can do all the scumbag shit, be the lowest of the low, and Nick will still associate with you. He'll go on your streams, he'll say somewhat nice things about you. He'll be like, we're cool, homie. But if you disagree with him, or his ethics, whatever those are nowadays, oh, that's it, you're done, buddy. Goodbye. Goodbye, Flash! This is the final straw, pal. You didn't agree with my bad parenting and borderline addict behavior. You're done, buddy. You're done. The Baldo is not for you anymore. This is really ridiculous and really funny at the same time because only Rekieta Law would burn a relationship, burn a bridge with a content creator while still being friends with Ethan Oliver Ralph. It's just so fucking funny and fucked up and just like, holy fucking shit.
They're very, very savvy and conscious in their decisions. This is the one thing that's really bothered me about every fucking stupid community I've been a part of, from IBS, The Sector, through Comicsgate, through non-Comicsgate, through the anime shit, through LawTube and that tree, and these just shit people all over the place. There are so many of them are just sitting there. They're calculating, conniving little opinion factories.
Sorry, I just have to cut it off real quick and point out it's hilarious and it's almost kind of amazing. I've never seen a person who's so unaware, who lacks so much self-awareness, who projects so often. It's amazing. He just went on a tirade, described himself He's such a narcissist that he puts it on an entire community or multiple communities. Oh, look, I'm not gonna fully disagree with him on the general point. I'm gonna point out that you are exactly what you just described, which is hilarious and why it's why a lot of people make videos on you and just talk about you and point it out. But I also want to point out that this idiot wasn't using my talking points up until now that it's convenient for him. Like, realistically, it's always been like this, and Nick has always known that it's been like this. It's just he used to be a better liar and used to be able to get away with it and con people a lot better. Now he's kind of lost his touch. I take it's because of the alcoholism and the drugs that have gotten into his mind and he's not as slick as he was. Or maybe it's just casual old age and father time taking its, toll on him. But regardless of that, this idiot just described himself to a T. He is exactly as what he just described. I mean, there's a reason why he was in those communities and was so successful in those communities for such a long time, right? This is kind of like a self-tell on yourself, where Nick is saying all the fucking terrible things of communities, certain communities, and then you have to reflect on the fact that he was successful in every single one of those communities, and then you can arrive to your conclusion that the reason is because he was the best at all of the shit he just said. It's just he's gotten sloppy and he's just not as good as he used to. Also, he just took a bunch of my talking points. This is literally, he must be a fan. He must be watching the MrSEN streams, the MrSEN Friday Night Sens, because this motherfucker just ripped off all my freaking talking points. Now that it's convenient, he's gonna go ahead and rip the talking points. Sorry, Nick, it just doesn't work when you've been like the main person at the forefront of all these terrible things for so many years. I mean, maybe you'll be able to fool some idiots, like you try to fool them into thinking this was all a government conspiracy against you because you're that important of a person. Or like when you try to fool the internet into thinking that you weren't a swinger and a degenerate. You actually give degenerates a bad name, to be honest. You're probably one of the worst, next to the, Vito or something, who you're very good friends with. You're also, again, very good friends with Ethan Ralph. But Yellowflash is where you draw the line because he doesn't agree with your life choices to put children in danger and neglect them and just be an overall ass clown on the internet. So fucking, it's funny. It's very funny.
With none of their own. And you can watch it because their opinions are malleable based on who the subject is and what their audience thinks about the subject of the opinion before the contents of the opinion. And you'll notice that the consistency between the issues that they're talking about evaporates when the subject is friendly or a foe. Right?
Right.
I'm on the way home, bitch! My arrival is fucking imminent! Let's fucking go!
Notice that the consistency between the issues that they're talking about evaporates when the subject is friendly or a foe.
You serious?
Dr. Disrespect lovers. I'll care about to cheer him till Dr. Disrespect's talking to him. They did Doc dirty. They did him wrong. He admitted to it.
All right, so I just wanted to point out that this is another one of those Nick being dishonest things. Flash actually disavowed Doc after he found out the thing about the kids. He made a video prior because he jumped the gun a little bit on thinking that this was going to be another cancel attempt. And since he didn't see anything concrete, like, a confession, he stuck to his guns and went ahead and decided to make a video. But as soon as the information came up about Doc, he immediately took down the video he published and got rid of all support for Dr. Disrespect. I don't know if Nick just didn't know this happened, if he got fooled, or by, I don't know, one of his lapdogs or something, probably Crater Face. But Nick is using fake news right now, and it's kind of like, again, unbecoming of a lawyer. Especially when Nick is the one that is friends with all these questionable Dr. Disrespect-like characters such as Dax Herrera, aka Dick Masterson, Ethan Ralph, Vito Gizaldi, whatever you call him. So again, it's very funny that Nick is trying to do this, his little character attack, when Flash didn't even keep up his original video, which he could have to make money, but he chose not to. Also, it's funny because if you really want to go at somebody for doing this pedo defense shit, other than you, Nick, you can go ahead and go at the Quartering, who is still to this day diehard supporting Dr. Disrespect because he thinks that a 40-year-old can talk to a child and it should be okay. I'm just saying, my guy, Nick is throwing stones again. He does this quite often and it's just very unbecoming of a lawyer. But I guess as long as the Quartering doesn't go against what Nick has said and tries to point out the obvious that Nick is a fuck up, because Nick has no reason to go at him.
But anyway, that consistency goes right in the fucking gutter. Because while they're very calculated people in how they extract money, they're not thoughtful people. And again, if any of you think Yellowflash is a thoughtful person, I just implore you to listen to him for more than 35 seconds. And you can dispel that notion immediately. But you know, hey, all these people are just giving my honest opinion.
This is what I hate. You know, Nick has been telling us about what he dislikes, even though it's just him in a nutshell. Let me tell you what I dislike. I dislike dipshits like Nick Rekieta that go ahead and they conveniently overlook these character flaws of the people that they choose to hang out with and be very, very good internet friends with, up until it's time to character attack them, smear them, and possibly discredit them. The reason I don't like this is because it's overdone to hell, and because I have a history of it happening to me for certain individuals. One named Lily, his small friend Josh Munoz, this guy named John. Fun fact, Lily actually idolized Nick Rekieta and modeled his entire self as him for whatever reason. The needless tangents, the ranting for no reason, having no real principles, yeah, pretty much. But I digress. The point is, I really, really dislike when these celebs do this shit, especially because Nick is like hamming it up right now. And this could easily be dispelled with the whole, you know, fact that Nick put his kids in danger and it got exposed. Flash never went out of his way to defend that in the first place, right? This never happened because this information was never revealed. It's not like Flash was defending Nick neglecting his children for multiple years only to then do a 180 and be like, actually, I'm not cool with this. That would be fucking stupid, or as I would call it, Lily shit. But Nick is trying to paint that narrative while completely disregarding the fact that, hey, if he thought Flash was such a sleazeball, he would have gone after him a while ago, just like Nick needlessly goes after certain individuals when it's beneficial for his wallet and his career, you know, sort of like the thing he's complaining about right now. Remember that little projection thing and the narcissism? It's not a good combination, Nikki. You should really get that checked out.
Whatever it is. Oh my God. It's a shame, really. But all of these sectors, all of these little groups, all of this, they're typically a couple good people in them. And then there are the people who are just waiting to spoon feed the opinion to the paying audience, specifically to the paying audience. And yeah, it's a real fucking shame. Twisted Life says, oh, wait, I know this one. Streamer friends who are just there for clout and don't care about you personally. Yep, I get that. Yeah, and it's disappointing because, again, you know that happens. You know it happens. You get used to seeing it happen. But then there are people that you meet and you hang out with a lot. Like you see them at several events. You make a point to spend time with them and hang out because you have a good time. You know, it's like, oh, cool. I get to see this person that I get to see like once or twice a year. And like, you know, you develop a real like friendship with them, and then you find out that they're just in it, you know, they're just the same. Just the same as everyone else. And you go, oh, that's sad. I don't know how to be that way. Tony Ravioli says, never know who your real friends are till this shit happens. Yeah. It's crazy.
As you can see, the rest is just Nick going about rejecting and bitching about all the stuff that he does and whatever. Like, all I can say to that is laughing my ass off. Because again, the lack of self-awareness, the just complaining about your own character flaws while trying to apply them to other people and entire communities as well. And then the little small pity party he tries to throw at the end, where it's like, oh, feel bad for me. My internet friend doesn't want me to ruin my life. Oh, wonder what like Camelot's doing. I know Camelot, aka Kumalot, has been doing a lot of damage control streams for Nick. He's probably a big, like one of the biggest Nick enablers out there. If he ever grows the spine and decides to call Nick out for being a failure, I guess he'll get the Yellowflash treatment as well, and then we'll hear a bunch of like expose stories about Kumalot. That's just the way Nicky operates. But anyway, that's all for this video, guys. I'll see you all on the stream this Friday. Rekieta Fridays, Friday Night Sen. If you enjoyed these Rekieta videos, hit the like, share it, and subscribe. Because this lol calendar isn't going to end anytime soon. He just keeps making it worse for himself. But what's bad for him is good for us, so everybody wins, really. Or at least only the people that are important here.